Don't you feel like all of a sudden everyone is running? No matter where you turn, there is some fitness-obsessed jogger staggering past you. From park runs to marathons, everyone has strapped on their Fitbits, thrown on their Nikes, and pressed go on their Stravas, making them all amateur athletes. But why is everyone suddenly so keen to sweat their asses off and pant like a dehydrated pug so openly in public? Why have I decided to join them? Hi, I'm Pia, I'm 25, and I'm having a quarter-life crisis. Join me and my friends as we discuss our existential dread to try to solve our quarter-aged questions. This episode, why have I started running? In a job I worked at recently, I realised very quickly everyone was running. A lot. From Saturday morning jogs all the way up to someone competing in the London Marathon. I soon realised that despite being the youngest member of the team and holding the highest fitness qualification, an A in GCSE PE, I was probably the most unfit. Maybe it was the fear of being unable to outrun a chainsaw-wielding murderous maniac. Or maybe it was the peer pressure. But I crumbled and started running. This year's London Marathon was one of the hottest on record, yet it holds the world record for most marathon finishes ever, with 56,640 people crossing the finishing line. This means that not only are loads of people running, they're also getting quite good at it, which really does raise the question, why is everyone running? This week's special guest is a runner themselves. With numerous 5 and 10Ks under his belt, he's looking forward to running his second half marathon in the next few weeks. It is the surprisingly sporty Joe.
Ouch, surprisingly sporty.
Hi Joe, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
No worries. So, we're here to talk about the ever so fun and very up-and-coming hobby of running, which you are a partaker in.
Unfortunately, I am, yes.
I love that it straight away. It's like, yeah, unfortunately, it's just not enjoyable, yet you still do it.
Yeah. That is a general theme I found.
Yeah, because I've tried to start doing it recently, and when I say tried and recently, I mean it's literally taken me like a year and a half. And the most I've done is like 3 in 1 week, and it just doesn't stick for me.
It sucks getting started because it just isn't fun. And I always find doing it on your own is so much harder. It's better to have company, even if it's people you don't know. It's just easier because then you kind of have, who's the best and who's the worst. So you can kind of place yourself not last.
I definitively, no matter the size of the group, I would be last. 100%. I'm so slow.
And I reckon it's all about like pacing yourself. Once you get in the rhythm of it, you'll be fine.
So why and when did you start running?
I started properly running 2 years ago, maybe 2 and a bit years ago. I think I started, going back years when I was at university, and I lived with someone who was doing sports science. So I was like, I can use him as like a personal trainer. And in the gym, cardio was one thing I found pretty easy. So I started running then stopped. And then annoyingly, it was an ex-partner who started park run. And I was like, she kept trying to convince me to do it, always said no. And then for some reason I did it, and I was quite good at it. My first park run was, for me, it was slow. It was 32 minutes, sort of 30 seconds, something like that.
That's still faster than anything I can do.
Now I'm a lot faster now. Looks about 10 minutes off that.
No, but my PB is like 34 and a half minutes, and I've only ever done 1 5K.
See, the good thing with parkrun, the parkrun I go to, there's about 450 people that do it. You'll never be last. They specifically have someone to be last called the tail walker, who does it in about an hour 5, depending on the day.
Are they hired as a paid position? Could I do it?
It's normally some poor child doing their DV volunteering. Have to go around with a high-vis jacket and like a belt with a tail on it, and the jacket says tail walker.
That's so funny.
It's brilliant.
What sort of timings are you getting now for your park runs then?
So the park run I go to it's 3 laps of a park in Barnet. But if it's raining, the park used to be a pond, basically. So when it rains, one of the courses just gets flooded. You're normally doing the B course, which has this really horrible hill, which you have to run up 3 times. But the time I'm trying to make excuses for my times. My quickest at park run was 23 minutes 50 seconds. But at the moment I'm averaging like 24 minutes 15 seconds, around that.
Oh my God, that's so fast.
Oh no, the worst thing is though with parkrun, with the one I go to, you'll be running going, I'm doing so well. And then some like 60-year-old like person just absolutely canes past you and you're like, what's the point? Or you have like 12-year-old boys and girls who just sprint and you're like, credit to you for you're quick, but I sort of hate you because I'm really trying and you're not.
It's so funny because everyone that I sort of work with I say everyone, because there's a large majority of people that I work with that all sort of do those runs, and even the people that don't do runs, like they'll do a park run every month or something. And there's this one girl who's like dead set on getting under 25, and I think she's done it once, but she has this one bit in her course, I don't know, it's like South East London somewhere. She calls it the curly whirly, but she has to like run round a hill to get to the top and then run back down to get down. And she's like, every time I reach it, and it's like bang in the middle apparently as well.
Yeah.
She's like, it just kills me. And I'm like, I just think I need to find a park run that's dead flat. But is that cheating? Do I need to do the cross country of a hill?
I've done a few park runs. The flat ones are just way nicer. The worst one I did is Gadesbridge Park. It was with one of my friends who used to go to primary school with, who is very like fit and active. He didn't tell me you have to like sprint up this massive hill, and it is cross country, so it's all grass. Run along the top of it and then you sprint down it, but like it's all wet grass because it's in the morning. So like you're running and your feet are slipping and you're like, oh, if I fall, this is going to be really embarrassing and really painful.
You just like go straight into a sausage roll and like really get like the momentum going. New PB there and there. And there's like nothing about running though that, I mean, I really have tried. It's just there's nothing about it that really appeals to me. I just don't understand why do you run?
To be honest, actual running, I hate. Like, I just, the thought of it, I'm honestly like, it's quite boring. But for me, it's the feeling afterwards. Like, I just feel like, okay, right, I can start my day. It just makes me feel better. And a lot of it as well, for me, I find it's like mental health. Not cringy, but I don't know, everyone sort of goes, oh, it's so brilliant. Annoying me. For me, I found it really did help because when I'm running, like, it's my opportunity to just switch off and like think about nothing, or if there's something bothering me, I can think about that one thing as I'm running and it'll be the only thing I think about. And then by the time I've finished thinking about it, the run's over and I'm like, oh, okay, sweet. And then it sort of just helps me process whatever I'm going through.
Yeah, the whole time I'm running, I'm just thinking, when's this over? I'm literally dying right now. And it's the same afterwards as well. I'm like, I cannot breathe.
No, after park runs, recently the sun it's rained and then the sun's come out, so it's really muggy. So I'm just dripping in sweat, and I then go sit behind a bush because it's shady and the grass is still wet and cold. I'm always just sat there dying.
You say you've been doing it 2.5 years now. Do you think you're sort of moving past that dying stage, or do you still genuinely feel like you are struggling for air every time you run?
I find in summer, I just can't do the heat. My body just doesn't cope with it. So I find in the winter, I'm way better because when it's cold, it's just cold. Whereas when it's hot, is it like dry heat, muggy heat, sunny heat? Like there's so many different types of just, to have to deal with.
Do you think you would ever run a marathon, like the full length?
I've had quite a few friends who did the London Marathon, the Brighton Marathon, and it sounds thoroughly unenjoyable. I feel like it's just way too far. And like everyone goes, oh, I felt really great. And there's like, oh, my toenail fell off though. And I'm like, that doesn't sound great.
It's like, I did it, but I cannot walk now for the next month of my life and all my toenails are missing.
Yeah, they go, oh, I had really bad chafing. And I'm like, oh, how did that? And they're, oh, about halfway through. And I'm like, yeah, that just doesn't sound fun. That sounds really horrible.
So marathons are where you draw the line.
I could see myself doing one if I'm honest. But at the moment, I couldn't think anything worse than having to run, it's like 26 miles.
Someone at work's convinced, because I complain about how expensive it is to get the train in every day. He's like, why don't you just run into work? And taking when I work in North London, I don't even live inside the M25. And we looked up how long it was. It's 30 miles. And he's like, oh, you could do that. 2 hours, little ultra marathon there and back. And I was like, excuse me, I can't even run 5K. I'm not doing an ultra marathon every day.
Yeah, hard pass.
So talking about the London Marathon, I mentioned earlier, but this was the world record of most finishes for any marathon ever in history, well, on record, with 56,640 people. How do you feel about all these people running in marathons, competing, doing it for whatever reasons?
Generally, I'm like, it's really good, more people being like fit and active. And I know that, I can't remember where I read it, but they're saying that young people now are less likely to drink and most of them do a form of exercise. I think majority was running. But then at the same time, selfishly, I'm like, you're just taking away from my achievement now because everyone does it. I'm just a bit like, I picked a hobby that everyone now loves.
So are you like giving that hipster view of like, I started it before it was cool? Or do you think you sort of like got the first wave, you sort of joined just as everyone else was doing it?
I like to think I joined just before, solely because when I started doing my park run, there's between 80 and 150 people doing it, whereas now it's between 350 to 450 people doing it. And as lovely as it is, there's so many, you see so many different people, different abilities, and like different people run it in different ways. Like there's the people who sprint, walk.
Are they messing with your PB? Is this why you're complaining? They're messing with your personal best?
Yeah, they are. They're psyching me out. The abilities of people running is so broad and it is so nice to see. At the same time, it's a little bit annoying at the park run I do specifically because there is so many people that the path's quite narrow at the start. And they always say, oh, if you're going to be slower than 25 minutes, they put a cone down to like start behind it. Everyone ignores that and people want to get in like the group picture at the start. So it really slows the start down because it's just those random people. It's annoying. I get it. I just sound like a massive killjoy, but like I want my PB.
Like, how dare you want to be part of this community?
I know I've got my running my parkrun 50 t-shirt on. Like I've got my license to run. Get out my way.
It's like your little Legoland driver's license. It's like, it's basically official.
Yeah, I've got my little barcode. I printed it out, laminated it.
Why do you think everyone is running? Why do you think it has sort of hit off, really started becoming popular in the last sort of few years?
I think it's become so popular because you don't really need anything for it. Like if you're just doing like slower casual runs, just a pair of trainers, shorts, t-shirt, vest, whatever you feel comfortable in. It's quite affordable and I think it just kind of gets you out of the house. I think since like lockdown and COVID, people working from home, it's an excuse to get out. It's also like with, I have a little working Cocker Spaniel and I go running with her and she absolutely loves it. It tires her out as well as tiring me out. I think that's one reason why it's become super popular. And I think it is on like Instagram, it's sort of like a trend. There's like run clubs and I've seen loads of like tailored adverts for like, oh, join this run club. And all the adverts seem to be young professionals. And you're like, I feel like you're doing this to be seen doing something, which is fine because you're doing it. But I think that sort of boosted it a little bit because it's just quite unquote cool to be doing it at the moment.
When people post their Stravas on their Instagram story, how does it make you feel?
This is really bad. So with my friends who are like really sporty, I'm like, I'm not even going to look at it because I know it's going to annoy me because you're going to be really quick. And they'll caption it like, oh, just a casual run. And you're like, sharp, you were trying. But some people, weirdly for me, it's quite nice to see some people doing it because I know that they've always wanted to find a hobby, like a healthy hobby, and they just never really found it. And then there's also the side of me who's like, people I used to live with at uni who do it. I could look at their time and be like, I'm way faster than you. Which is bad. It's awful. I shouldn't say things like that now. I think my motivation, it's sort of changed over time, actually, my motivation. Almost like the middle chunk of it was solely for mental health. My dad died and I just found myself, I struggled like being on my own and I was just sat at home doing nothing. So if I just keep running, keep doing something, not to not think about it, but just to not sit and think about it. And then now my motivation is each year I want to set to do a half marathon and that's my motivation each year.
So you're saying you're sort of doing a marathon, half marathon every year, maybe working up to a marathon, undecided yet. Do you just do that for yourself or do you sort of use it as a fundraising platform or you just do it for yourself? You're like, this is something I want to achieve.
I mainly do it for me. The first half marathon I did, I felt so good afterwards and felt like such a sense of achievement. And it was directly afterwards I was thinking, if my past self could see me now, my past self wouldn't believe where I got to. And I also think part of it is when I'm training for running to doing big distances, I don't drink. And I think I feel so much healthier and I'm saving so much more money. But yeah, I think mainly I do the half marathons for myself because the fundraising ones, they always have a minimum amount you have to fundraise. And not that I hate charity, but it's normally quite a lot. And I don't know, sometimes it's just not realistic, I think, because I don't want to be that person.
Is that because you don't have many friends that would give you money?
I just don't have many friends. I'm sort of like an extrovert that's bad at being an extrovert, I think. I hate making myself the center of attention. So like people who post going, oh, I'm doing this, like donate to me, just isn't me. I think I'm happy to do things on my own.
Yeah, I think there's sort of like a weird thing about that of it being like social media where it is such a new thing that as humans we're not really adapted to know how to use it because obviously we've got thousands of years of social like evolution, I want to say, where we've learned how to interact as humans, and social media is such a new thing that some people are really good at using it. But I completely get what you're saying because when I sort of did the shout out for this episode to get people, that took me about a month to post because I genuinely was just like, oh, that's so awkward. What if no one responds? Or if I didn't mind if no one responded actually, because I was kind of like, if no one responds, who's gonna know? But I was like, what if loads of people respond and then I have to sort of communicate with people I don't really know? But then I ended up posting a picture of my dog and I was like, well, now the dog's being posted, I kind of have to do the shout out.
Oh, do you know, speaking of dog, the first like big 5K thing I did was with the dog. It was called Battersea Cats and Dogs Home. So on my previous dog, we looked there, but we ended up getting a dog from Wood Green. I saw that Battersea posted this muddy dog challenge where it was a 5K with like obstacles to do with your dog. And that was the first event I did. And for that, I had to fundraise for Battersea Cats and Dogs Home.
Oh no, what a shame.
It was a relatively low amount, so I felt fine doing it. I think it was like 100 quid, which I didn't mind, sort of a bit of self-promotion within my family because it's your family. But that was really fun. I enjoyed doing that. And the dog had an absolute hoot doing that. Sadly, it wasn't on this year. They've stopped doing it.
This is the thing about fundraising is because in my head, and I say in my head, this has literally been in my head for the past 13 years, I'm going to do a triathlon. Basically, ever since I watched the 2012 Olympics, and I literally have a bike that I bought to do this triathlon. I do use the bike for other things, like just cycling around and things. But I'm convinced that I can do a triathlon. And I kind of feel like some of the podcast episodes were genuinely just to motivate me to do things. So I need to get back into the running because that's definitely my weakest point. I'm like, swimming, you just do, you get on with it. And then afterwards, your arms aren't really used. So you just get on with it. And then cycling, you get on with it. But running for me, I just really struggle to just keep on going because I don't want to do it anymore. And I do a short triathlon. When I say a triathlon, I literally mean a mini sprint one, which is still long distances, but it's a lot shorter than the full thing. And I was talking to people at work about this, and they're like, oh, you could just do like, if you want to do fundraising, you could just do a walking thing. And I'm like, but where's the challenge in that? I can walk. I want something to be a challenge, not to just sort of motivate me with the charity, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I need to be a bit better and then I have to train, and I always put up excuses. So how do you find not putting up excuses? How do you make yourself do things?
For me, how I make myself do things is like a mix of ways. One of the ways I have quite irritatingly sporty friends, like they're so good. Like one of my friends done an Ironman challenge. I think only two of them have done an Ironman challenge. It's quite annoying to have like friends who are good at things. But for me, I kind of see it dependent on the run. So if I know I'm going to do like tomorrow, I've got park run tomorrow, and then I'm going to do a 10K afterwards. And I think in my head, the bigger the distance I set when I'm running, I'm like, well, it's 10K and I've only done like 6K, and I'm like, well, I've just got to do half of it again. And then I try and just like mentally completely switch off and just keep running. It's like I can't run with music because that throws me so much, which apparently is really weird. I think if I had songs, I'd run to the beats of the songs and not sort of listen to my body, in the sense of when it's just me, I can be like, oh, I feel like I can go faster here, or I've pushed myself way too hard. I just need to slow it down a little bit.
No, that is, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to say psychotic, but I'm running without music.
Yeah, I know loads of people have said it's really weird.
And your own thoughts.
But the thing is, I'll never walk. So, like, say if I'm going out, I'll never walk from my house to the tube, which is like 20 minutes, without my headphones, because I'm like walking with my own thoughts. I'm like, that's kind of scary.
That's so funny. I'm the opposite. I'm literally the opposite. I love walking without music, but I guess you live in a bit more built up area. When I'm walking around, I can walk in woods and things, and it's just like, let's listen to nature. And then that's sort of when I use my processing time. Whereas running, I'm just about focusing on staying alive.
Although I found if I'm walking the dog, I cannot have headphones in because if I hear a pheasant call, I need to put that dog on a lead. I have to be so aware of my surrounding. If there's horses, if there's people, that's the only time. But then again, I'm like mentally, I'm so focused on the dog and nothing else. I do feel weird because the amount of people at parkrun who have headphones on. There's a couple of annoying people who like, it tends to be old men who play like music out loud on their phone when they're running. And it's always really low quality music and it's always really bad music. So I'm just like, come on, man, be considerate.
Does that give you no motivation to run away from them, though?
Yes, that. And this really niche one is like jangly things in pockets. Like if I'm running with someone who has keys in their pockets next to me, it irks me so much that I'm like, I have to run away from you. Oh my God, I've just remembered. At my park run, there's sex noise lady.
No. Oh my God. Yes, I know exactly the sort of thing you
Yeah.
mean.
So you're running and then you hear someone like breathing heavily and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. The noises she makes and you're like, I'm trying not to laugh. And I'm like, I need to get well past you because A, it's throwing me off because it's a bit weird, the noises you're making. But like, she's just widely known amongst quite a few people at the park run as just sex noise lady.
I was out like by the Thames and genuinely this person ran by and the sounds he was making, I was with some of my mates and we just looked at each other. It's not necessary. I understand breathing. And if you're at the end of your run and you're pushing yourself, I'm not going to recreate because, clipping that up. Don't want to be known as a sex noise lady. It's just, are you not self-aware enough to be like, I should not be making the sound? It's kind of embarrassing.
See, there's another guy who does the same thing when he's running. He like screams self-motivation at himself.
Does that scare you?
Oh my God, yeah, there's been a couple of times I've been running and I know someone's behind me and all you hear is this man, and I mean, he screams like, come on, let's go. And the first time I thought he said my name. So I sort of really slowed down, turned around, saw this strange man and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know who you are. Just ran off. But I get it when it's like heavy breathing, but when it's this like shouting, to me, I feel it's quite selfish because you're like, there's other people on a run.
Yeah, especially you're like a park run or something. I feel like it's a bit different if you're running and you're going past people on like a footpath or something and it's not like a group of you, but you're all trying to get your PBs.
I know, pushing. But all like a half marathon, I did the big half last year in London and we ran across Tower Bridge and there's loads of people stood watching. I can get like shouting and cheering for that because the adrenaline from people shouting and cheering you on really just helps so much. It really boosts you. That I can get, or like it's a challenging distance, I can sort of get it. But when it's like a 5K round your local park, you're like, you just need to chill.
So what I'm hearing is you don't want me to turn up on Saturday to your park run and go, KJ, and just start shouting at you.
I would run so much faster away from you. That is my idea of hell. My mum came to a couple of my park runs. I always save a little bit in the tank to sprint finish. And my mum, she was joking when she said this. She was to the side going, oh, come on, hurry up, like clapping me on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like 26. Stop doing this. This is really weird. Oh my God, I'm 28. I'm not 26. Oh, that was horrible.
Did the quarter-life crisis hit you just there and then?
Oh, it really has. It really has. My knees have started to go. I'm like, but I'm still in my 20s.
I'm still a young boy.
Except when I sit down for long periods and stand up, both knees just crack. Probably from running.
So what advice would you give to me / anyone that wants to start / continue running?
My main advice is never compare yourself to anyone. I realise I said don't never.
I also realise that we've done that multiple times throughout the whole podcast.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, like never comparing yourself to anyone is really the best way to go, and set yourself achievable goals and build them up. I feel like, because for my first few park runs, I had to run and then walk for quite a lot of it, realizing that's okay because you just need to build up to it. So never being harsh on yourself as well is quite a big one. And also if you run with someone, I find it gives you motivation to beat them. My half marathon in 2 weeks, 1 week, I'm doing it with my old housemate and we are so disgustingly competitive with each other. And I know he's going to beat me, but like having that motivation I always think it's quite nice that it just boosts you to go that little bit further, because that way when you beat them, you can rub it in their face, be the bad winner, let them know that they suck.
But only with close friends and family, don't do that with strangers.
Oh my God, this is an awful story. I was running at parkrun, and the end of it, the path was quite narrow, and there was a few slower people, so you just needed to slow yourself down. And there was this boy, well, actually, I thought he was 14, 15 behind me, and he was so rude. I think he just meant move, and I was like, oh, I get it's like the end of a 5K, but you don't need to be that rude. So in my head, I'm like, I'm going to beat you. I don't care if I throw up, if I push myself too far, I'm beating you. I sprinted past him, did the really like cocky thing where I like looked at him as I ran past him, finished. And then afterwards, I checked the leaderboard. He was like 12. It shows your age. And and I was like, I've just been like the most ugly person to like a 12-year-old boy.
No, he deserves humility. I don't think you've done anything bad there.
He was
He
rude.
should have manners. He's old enough to know better. He was old enough to know better.
He was so rude.
But you did celebrate beating a 12-year-old, so
Yeah. And I wear that badge with pride.
it's on my CV.
Because then you have it when they sprint past you, they're like, oh my God, I'm running so quickly. And then they just sprint off. And I'm like, I hate you. Like, I'm struggling so much right now. And you're like you've not even ran any distance.
Yeah, you don't understand how hard it is. You're 12.
Yeah, wait till you wake up some morning and you slept funny and you can't turn your neck a certain way because it hurts.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and telling me all about your running stories. I want to wish you good luck for your half marathon in a few weeks. And I think you might have potentially motivated me, very emphasis on the potentially, to go on a little run later.
Yeah, so hopefully I have. Thank you very much for having me on, and I'll start texting you about your 5K times to kind of push you along a little bit.
I think I need that, to be fair. Maybe that will actually motivate me.
Yeah, find your local park run. That's the best way to start.
It's too far away. I can't be bothered.
Oh, I drive to my park run. I'm so lazy.
What's the point? What's the point?
Barnet is just hills, and I can't be bothered to run up a load of. I live at the bottom of a hill, so I have to run up a hill wherever I go. It's easier to drive.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, you too, and good luck with your future runs.
Thank you so much, Joe. I think this has truly inspired me because it makes you think something is better than nothing. Immediately after this recording, I decided to do a run. I still don't think I class myself as a runner, and I'm not sure I ever will, but I've definitely been trying to do more. My aim is at least once a week to go on a run, which has been moderately successful so far, with me having run at least 3 5Ks now. I'm not sure if I find it enjoyable, but there is definitely a sense of achievement when I finish the run. Maybe one day I will do a park run. Or maybe one day I will even do that triathlon I've been planning to do since I was 12. Who knows? Thank you for listening to this episode of Quarter Life Crisis. Why have I started running? Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you are listening to the podcast. Tune in next week for Why Do I Have a Degree?